You are meant to be rich.
I need more money.
I'm so good at manifesting.
This is exactly how I would manifest myself a new reality.
If you're no stranger to my channel here, you know that I do not believe in manifestation. And if you are new here, hey, hi, hello, and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite niches in the manifestation space, and that is wealth manifestation, aka courses and coaches and creators that promise to be able to teach you how to make more money by changing your energy, changing your vibration, and using the power of your thoughts to get really rich. Now, if you're new here, I did cover this topic in a video maybe 8 months ago called How Manifestation Coaches Are Keeping You Broke. But more recently, as I was working on my follow-up to the Manifestation is Not Real series, I'll link the video here, I basically ruined my TikTok algorithm, and now anytime I'm doom scrolling on my phone, I am inundated with tons of people teaching me the secrets to making more money by believing good thoughts. And so I thought we could start the conversation by jumping right into our first video.
There's this one phrase that blocks money instantly. I'll show you how to fix it. I'm Aaliyah. I teach the nuances of manifestation. If you're into that kind of thing, you can follow. Okay, so that phrase that blocks money, I need more money. It's energetically the same as saying I don't have enough money. Guess what happens next? Manifest more not having it because you have a lack vibe. Because you can't hold a lack vibe and experience abundance at the same time. How this game works, and this is a game. It can be too hard though to fully feel the money when your energy has been I don't have enough. So what we need is a bridge energy. I'll show you how to build the bridge. You move into the energy of something like I'm ready to drop lack energy. Learning abundance is my pivot. Ready to think differently. You see how if you practice this narrative and energy, you will be able to get here. This is how normal people like me have made the bridge from struggle and debt in their business to being able to flourish. Pick one of those bridge statements and practice it. Recite it 1,000 times. Set alarms in your phone. Write it everywhere and start practicing this bridge energy. You will feel empowered and you'll be able to feel the abundance is closer than ever. If you feel like you really got this concept, I want you to put in the comments bridge energy. Most people think manifestation seems like too far-fetched. It's because they don't build the bridge. Comments and type in bridge. So if you're feeling it and you want a little bit more than a short video, head over to the link in the bio. There is a free abundance meditation I recorded just for you to help you get dialed in on this energy work even deeper. You guys are energy warriors. I love the hell out of you. I'll see you tomorrow.
You don't even know me. Don't tell me you love me. Okay, first of all, I want someone in the comments to explain to me what a lack vibe is. That had me chuckling a little bit, like, what even is that? Somebody let me know. Next, the thing that's really interesting to me is that anyone on the internet, myself included, can show up on camera, good lighting, feel like I know what I'm saying, know what I'm talking about, speak confidently enough, and chances are someone out there is going to believe what they're saying, even if what they're saying is complete nonsense. And so I chose this clip specifically because I think it highlights a very common narrative that we see in the manifestation space, and that is this idea that the reason why you don't have money or the way that you're going to be able to make more money is to change your vibration, raise your frequency, and that is the secret to calling in all sorts of wealth. And I mean, to a degree, I can get it. I used to believe this as well. On the surface, if you don't really think too hard about it, it might sound sort of scientific, sort of legitimate. And again, when people show up on camera authoritatively and they use words like alignment and frequency and vibration, you might feel the desire to want to believe that what they're saying is true. But in my opinion, what they're doing is they're actually misusing scientific terms in order to try and add legitimacy to their personal beliefs. And so yes, technically everything in the universe does have a frequency. Atoms vibrate, sound waves have frequencies, even your brain and your heart produce measurable electronic outputs. But when manifestation coaches are telling you to change your frequency or raise your vibration, they're not actually referring to anything that is measurable. Like, no one on this earth has the ability to detect a lack vibration, as this creator put it. There is no frequency for money. And further, I'm not aware of any device that can measure whether or not someone is in alignment with their goals or their desires. And so while it might sound scientific on the very surface level, it's actually not. And as I have said time and time again in so many of my videos, until someone can provide me with a peer-reviewed research study that indicates the contrary, I will be dying on this hill. Now, this particular video has close to 10,000 views and pretty decent engagement. This creator has over 350,000 followers, and she basically just makes endless content spreading this type of, in my opinion, misinformation. And I think that why this becomes so dangerous for me is that if she continues to make these statements, she continues to make these videos, she believes that what she's saying is true. She then sells coaching that aligns with those beliefs, teaching you that she can show you how to change your vibration. You then pay her, which means that she's making money. She is fulfilling the belief that she already has, that she knows how to vibrate to make money. Then you pay her. So therefore, her belief must be true. It must be working if she's making money through selling it. Then she continues to go on and make more content sharing this same idea. I just want to know, like, who's actually getting wealthy from this? Are her clients actually successfully able to change their lack vibe and raise their vibration for money? Or is she making a ton of money teaching people this concept? Again, it sounds a lot like the coaches who coach other coaches on how to have a coaching business, to coach other coaches to have a coaching business, and then it's just like coaches all the way down. So we just got all these people teaching each other how to manifest more money, and they're manifesting their money by teaching people how to manifest money. Where is the end game? Questions I will never have the answers to. Let's move on.
I should be charging for this video because I figured it out. I figured out why I'm so good at manifesting and other people aren't. And I gave this to my clients and their businesses have been taking off. Their personal lives have been taking off. My client literally said to me, I feel like I have a magic wand. Like, is this how you feel? And I was like, yes, this is how I feel every day. I felt like everyone who manifested felt like this. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what makes me different than everyone else. And so yesterday I was sitting outside with my best friend and she was like, I really want to get a new job, but I need to apply to more stuff and this needs to happen before that. And I'm just working so much. I'm so tired. Like, how am I going to get a new job? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God, hold on. And I realized something. She was putting so many obstacles in between her and getting a new job. But me, a master manifester, I'm like, if I want something, then I'm a clear path for it. It does not matter what's logical. It does not matter that it usually takes this long or my industry is not good or I'm not going to get the same amount of money or my boss hates me. It doesn't fucking matter. None of that matters. If I want something, I get it because I don't make it mean that anything is in my way. If you want it, you can have it as long as you don't act like there's anything in your fucking way. That's it, period. For example, because you guys know I love examples. I got on the plane last week. I have a belief that 80% of the time I fly, I always have a seat open next to me. The plane was apparently completely full. Like, my friend asked if she could sit next to me. They're like, nope, the plane's completely full. And guess what? That person must have not woken up for their flight because I had a seat open next to me. Like, nothing matters. I don't care what anyone's telling you in your reality. I don't care what everyone else has said before you, that it takes this long, you have to do this, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. If you decide that you want it and you decide that there's nothing in your way of receiving it, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's literally that easy. I promise. Everyone's overcomplicating it. It's not hard. It's really easy. But our minds like to trick us into thinking it's really hard. If you want something, you can have it instantly. Just don't get in your way. If you have questions on this, please leave them below because I want us all to be master manifestors and get everything we want in this life. And follow me for more. But I love you guys so much.
Dear God. Let's unpack a few things because this one really set me off. First of all, this idea of
things are only hard because we think they are.
To a degree, I don't actually disagree with. I mean, I discussed that in last week's video, but sometimes our minds do a little bit of self-sabotaging, if you will. And they tell us that things are going to be really hard, and then we go ahead and do them and we realize, like, oh, that wasn't actually that bad. Like, last week I had to call the mechanic, and if you're a millennial like me, you probably hate talking on the phone and dread ever having to call anyone. But guess what? I put on my big girl pants, I picked up the phone, I called, they were closed, so I got to leave a voicemail, and it wasn't actually that bad. But all that to say, while this attitude of
We can just choose to clear the path
sounds empowering and it acknowledges the fact that our mindset does play a role in how we approach challenges in our lives, it ignores one key thing, and that thing is context. Per the example she gave about her friend stuck in this job that she doesn't like, many people are likely stuck in jobs they don't like. But the part that we're not talking about here is that maybe they're also the primary caregiver for their family and they can't afford to lose their job. Maybe they're living paycheck to paycheck and they don't have the opportunity to pursue the things they're actually passionate about. Maybe they're dealing with chronic illness or mental health struggles. Perhaps they are navigating some sort of other systemic barrier, of which there are many, I promise you. Saying,
just decide it's going to be easy, and it will be,
is not very helpful advice. It's like when you're depressed and people tell you, oh, just feel happy. This is a very privileged perspective to hold, and it's giving Life Coach Danielle of 2018 vibes. If you know, you know.
We are the ones who create our realities. We create the things we choose to believe in, whether we consciously acknowledge that or not.
Not everyone has the freedom to just decide their way into a new job, a better relationship, more money in their bank account, etc. And I think the fact that this particular creator feels that they do have that opportunity speaks volumes to the amount of privilege that they themselves have. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about how you think about things or how you perceive your reality. It's about what options you actually have available to you. Okay, and lastly, I cannot move on from this video without addressing the example that she gave about the airplane. This again came up in last week's video as a common theme that a lot of these manifestation gurus like to rely on, and that's this idea that everything is causally related. And so this also came up in a conversation in the comments with some of you. I know Monica said, sometimes stuff happens and no matter what you do, you don't reach your goals. That's life, it is what it is. To which I responded, and sometimes you literally do nothing and just get lucky and have an opportunity fall into your lap. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. That is the cycle of life. Saying things like, I decided this thing was going to happen and then it did, therefore I manifested it, is a classic post hoc fallacy. Pause to read the screen here if you'd like. In reality, just because two things happen in succession, that doesn't mean that you manifested anything, nor does it mean that one caused the other. I also found it funny that she specifically said, oh, I manifest 80% of the time that no one's going to be sitting next to me, because to me, that is her intentionally signaling or leaving room for error in that anytime she goes on an airplane and someone ends up sitting next to her, she can just say, oh, well, that's the 20% of the time where I'm not actually manifesting anything. Funny how these things work.
If you want to manifest something literally in days, try this method, watch what happens. But only do this method if you actually want to manifest something really fast. And it is called my I am simply deciding method. And what you're going to do is you are going to say out loud, I am simply deciding XYZ is happening. I am simply deciding I am going to have my dream body by the end of this summer. I am simply deciding that I'm going to be a millionaire. And here's the key is you are going to say, fuck the how. Fuck the how. I don't know how. In fact, if you knew how, you probably would have had it already. Let the universe show you how.
Okay, this one was very similar to the last one, but there's a couple things to unpack here, and I want to apply it to a few real life examples to reiterate my point. So let's just pretend that someone is facing some sort of hardship in their life. Maybe they are getting evicted, or they're unemployed, or they have chronic illness, or they're in an insurmountable amount of debt. Those are all very real scenarios that all of us, even you watching this video, have probably faced or will face at least one time in your life one of those challenges. So if we take into consideration anyone who is actively in that situation right now, and we simply tell them that they just need to decide a different reality, can we all not agree that that is incredibly dismissive at best and very, very harmful at worst? You cannot just decide that your rent is going to be paid if you're working a minimum wage job and your landlord decides to raise your rent $500 a month. If someone maybe lives in the US where you guys don't have universal health care and you have a chronic illness and suddenly you're thousands of dollars in debt because you don't have insurance, simply deciding that you're healthy and abundant isn't going to make that problem go away. Further, maybe you have $50,000 in student loan debt and you don't have any access to generational wealth. I wish I did. You just deciding that you're going to be debt free doesn't all of a sudden make your payments go away. A payment plan might, a better paying job might, but your decision to make it go away doesn't make it go away. At least that's not a strategy that I, Danielle Ryan, would personally recommend anyone. Okay, and then to her point about how the how doesn't matter, I have a lot to say. And the fact that this creator says this to me is a signal once again for the amount of privilege that she has as an individual who is selling people on the idea of manifestation. I mean, if I think back to myself in 2018, I was renting a very low cost apartment with my partner at that time. But my worst case scenario, if everything I was doing went to zero and I made no money, I knew in the back of my head that I had the option to move back into my mom's house. And so that in itself was a huge privilege that I had that gave me the ability to believe in these things and to take the risks that are often associated with those beliefs. And so for the people that don't have financial safety nets or resources or a community that they can fall back on, which presumably are the most vulnerable people most likely to fall for this kind of thing, they're also the ones that can't really just throw caution to the wind and trust that the universe has their back. And for people who find themselves in really vulnerable situations, I would argue that it's actually just a distraction from the tools and strategies that would actually get you to where you want to be. So please, I beg of you, be aware of the position that the person who is giving the advice to you is in, where they're coming from. Be aware of that, and then practice your discernment to determine whether or not the advice that they are giving is really relevant or applicable to your specific situation.
If I had no money in the bank tomorrow and I had to start my life completely over, this is exactly how I would manifest myself a new reality. First thing I'm doing is accessing my subconscious mind because I know that my reality is created through my belief systems and not my bank account.
I think it's important for me to point out here that this woman sells one-on-one coaching and digital products that are going to help you fix that belief system though, so just keep that in mind as we watch the rest of this video.
So I would literally ask myself, how have I contributed to this reality through my belief systems? What lack limiting belief or language do I use with myself that is in direct alignment with the frequency of that reality? So if I'm experiencing a reality where I have no money in my bank account, am I repeating to myself that I'm constantly broke, that I can never afford anything, or that I'm going to end up in this situation again because I did experience homelessness before? So am I self-sabotaging myself? Was it something that I learned growing up? Do I recognize this behavior anywhere within myself? Because I am going to be taking responsibility for my life. That's one of the first things I would do, was take responsibility for my situation and how I created my reality through my thoughts and my belief systems.
I will say this until I'm blue in the face. Mindset does matter. But let's be clear. You can have an empowered belief system and still not be able to afford your rent. You can believe you are worthy of being wealthy all day long. But you still need a plan to make it happen. You still need access. You still need the opportunity to have that be your reality. And when these creators say,
your belief system creates your reality,
what they're also implying, allegedly in my opinion, is that if you're broke, it must be because you believe you're broke, and guess what? That's your fault. She is saying this, how did I create my reality? Which again, to a degree is true, but in many instances completely ignores systemic inequalities and frames every single hardship that anyone faces as a mindset issue.
Then before I get into any panic mode or any state of fear, I'm going to pause, take a deep breath, and then write out every single fear, doubt, or what if on a piece of paper, then burn it, tear it, shred it up. I would write down every single thing that I felt about a situation or a person, literally just air out all of my baggage, get it out so that I can release it to the universe or release it to God.
Listen, I am all for journaling. I personally do it every day. I think it's a great opportunity from a therapeutic perspective to get all of the thoughts out of your head onto a paper, an iPad, wherever you're doing your journaling, so you don't have to think about it anymore. But am I doing that so that I can release my negative thoughts to the universe and they can take over? No, I'm not. Absolutely no.
And then I would just get really crystal clear on what I want to experience. So in this case, if I woke up with $0 in the bank, I would want some sort of financial stability. So I would be like, I am cool with making at least $800 a month. I just need some sort of money coming in. And then I would visualize myself receiving that, visualize myself in that reality where I'm making that amount of money. I don't imagine the how. That's the thing. I'm not going to imagine how any of this would come in. I would just simply imagine the reality that I want to experience. So preferably I would be doing something where I'm an entrepreneur, maybe my products are selling out, my videos are going viral, I'm posting more, people are wanting to help me. I would visualize myself getting all of these resources, being in the right place at the right time. I would go sit at coffee shops, and then I would take one small aligned action every single day. So I would visualize myself and visualize the reality that I do want to experience. Think about the type of person that has that experience. So that type of person who is experiencing financial stability, hell, let's even be delusional and say 5,000 a month. So going from 0 to 5,000 a month, what would the identity of that person be? They would not say that they are broke. They would not say that they are struggling or they can't afford something. If they look at something that's maybe not in their budget or price range, they would already look at that thing and say, dang, I wonder how that thing is going to come into my life. They don't limit themselves at all. They are a person who wholeheartedly believes in God and themselves and the universe. They have confidence. And these are all of the characteristics that this person who receives 5,000 a month has.
And let me guess, that person that has all those characteristics probably also sells a course on how you can manifest it too for $5,000.
So now what I would do was take one small action that's aligned with that vision every single day, even if it's just coming online, posting a video, even if it's going to the library and looking up some sort of resource or reading a book or going to talk to new people, sitting in those coffee shops, going somewhere where I would normally never go, just doing everything I can to show the universe or show God that I am taking action towards my desired reality and I'm heading in that direction.
Okay, as someone who has owned multiple businesses at this point, and for those of you that are entrepreneurs, you have your own business, in the comments, please chime in. But I'm sorry. I'm actually not sorry. I can promise you, watching this video, taking one single aligned action, and I will give this creator credit for actually providing examples of what the aligned action even means, but I digress. Taking one single action every day is not going to get you to $5,000 months. I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram, but I post my to-do list there pretty much every day. And even though I post it every day, I don't get everything done in a day because there is so much to do that my to-do list is actually never ending. But let me know what yours looks like in the comments.
Because true manifesting is not about overnight. None of this is overnight. It involves deep transformation because it's never about the journey. You could ask God or the universe for financial stability, and then your whole entire financial situation will come crashing down. It just seems like you're drowning in bills or things just got worse after you prayed for a better financial situation. But really what this is doing is it's testing your character. It's seeing, are you built for this reality that you're asking for? Can you maintain it? Can you hold the frequency of it? Are you even responsible enough to have this in your reality? It's always about the journey. Literally always about the journey. You ask for a blessing, you get a journey, because the person that you become along the way of obtaining that thing is far more valuable than the thing itself. Because you realize that you never needed the manifestation. You never needed the money. You needed to believe in yourself. You needed to go within yourself and do the work on yourself so you can have more self-love, more gratitude, more peace within, so you can experience that in the external reality. This is literally all life is.
Okay, this whole video is just becoming very much word salad for me. Like, she's saying a lot of words, but I'm really not quite sure what she's saying. And I'm really trying, but it's not really making much sense to me.
You're put here to experience a good life. That's what you're here. You ever heard that one Drake song, I'm here for a good time, not a long time? You know, cause I'm way up, I feel blessed. That's the song. Literally. We're only here for a good time, not a long time.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you're watching this video and you're currently not having a good time, maybe you're broke, maybe you're unemployed, maybe you're chronically ill, maybe you're just having a bad day, guess what? That's on you. You and your broke hater mindset, that is. That's sarcasm, by the way.
So it just baffles me how we're still conforming to this ideology of having to work hard and hustle and grind. As you guys can see, that shit doesn't work because it's a programming. That is the matrix, y'all. And you need to break free. It's time to literally start taking control over your life. Is it going to take a while? Maybe. I don't know. We never know how the quantum world works.
If we don't know how it works, then how are we selling courses and content about how it works when you're literally saying right here that you don't know how it works? So do you know how it works or do you not? Because I'm getting mixed signals.
That is why I told you that you cannot visualize the how, because it's inconceivable to you. Think of God as like everything, the source of everything. So anything, literally all of the possibilities are endless when it comes to God, when it comes to the universe. But we as human beings limit our potential so much that we put those same limitations on our consciousness, on source. And those limitations don't apply. Things can come the next day, they can come in a week, they can come in months, but the question is, are you ready to take the journey? Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to become the person who can handle that thing? And if that answer is yes, and you are in a season of transformation, make sure you click the link in my bio to check out the Alter Ego workbook that is going to guide you on how to build a persona that can manifest the reality of your dreams.
The pitch we've all been waiting for. This woman stands to gain monetarily by getting you to believe A, that you have the problem she's talking about, and B, that her solution is the answer to that problem. Oh my God. This is like the time I took my car to one of those 30-minute oil change places, and then they came up to me and they told me my car needed all of these work and all of these filters, and it was going to cost me $400, $500, $600. And I was like,
dude, I just came here for my $50 oil change. What are you talking about?
to me, it comes off as less about whatever the actual issue is and more about creating an additional stream of revenue so that she can profit off you believing that you have whatever problem she's telling you you have. And that's allegedly, in my opinion, of course.
Between me and you are meant to be rich. Just sit with that. Sit with it. Sit with it. Just receive. Notice how your body feels. You are meant to be rich. 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 You are meant to have an overflow, an abundance. You, yes, you. If your throat is closing up, if your heart is feeling tight, if you are feeling celebratory, listen to what your body is telling you when I tell you that you are fucking amazing, that you are beautiful, that you are incredible, that you are always meant to shine, that you are meant to be rich, you are meant to be seen, you are meant to be loved, you are meant to have so much amazing abundance in your life. Sit with that. Receive it. Don't deflect it. Don't push it away. Don't minimize it. Don't say that's not for me. Just sit with it and notice how your body is feeling. Notice how your body is feeling.
Pausing to let you know as we listen to these words of love and light, which on the surface might seem harmless and empowering, that amongst her membership and one-on-one coaching, this particular coach sells a $3,000 US course to teach you, and I quote, the frequency that unlocks a flood of sales, clients, and millionaire cash months. So keep that intention. Again, this idea that she stands to benefit monetarily from getting you to believe whatever she's telling you as we continue to watch this video.
You are meant to have an overflow of money in your bank account. You are not meant to suffer. Sit with it. How is your body responding? How is your body responding? Listen to it. Listen to the body. What is it telling you? That is information that we need to listen to. That is giving you a baseline understanding of what you have capacity to receive right now. That is giving you information. Your body is letting you know what it feels comfortable with. Now, the key here is to regulate to that. I'm going to tell you again, you are meant to be rich. Now say it back. I am meant to be rich. Say it again. I am meant to be rich. Say it again. I am meant to be rich. Now take your hand, put it over your heart, put some pressure on it, rub it here. Other hand, put it over here. I am meant to be rich. Breathe into it. I am meant to be rich. Breathe into it. Sit with it. Let it simmer. I am meant to be rich. I am meant to have an overflow of abundance. Breathe into that. Receive that. Receive that. Receive it. Okay, I need you to know that money will never change you because you are a good-hearted person and money only amplifies the actual value system that you embody, and you are a good fucking person and you want the world to be better. You believe in good things. You are the person that still maybe cries at sunrises. You are the person that is meant to hold so much fucking money because you can change the world with it. You can change your own life. You can change your community's lives. You are the person that is meant to hold so much fucking money because you know how much good you will do with it. You. Yes. So say it again. I am meant to be rich.
Okay, this part irritates me. I mean, all these people irritate me, let's be honest. But she's taking something that I tend to believe in and I tend to believe is important for most people. And that's this concept around, money mindset, reframing a lot of the beliefs that maybe we grew up with, thoughts we have around money, what it means to make money, etc. And I do think there is merit to learn how to, quote, heal your relationship with money. As in, again, depending how you were raised, working to maybe fix or adjust some of the assumptions that you might have subconsciously embedded into your mind. Particularly when it comes to the concept of like making money, spending money, having money, etc. But, and this is a big but, learning to work through and address any issues that you do have when it comes to money doesn't suddenly create space to allow lots of money to pour in. You still need an actual job or some kind of business, some way of making that money. And I promise you that simply repeating the statement, I am meant to be rich, regardless of how much you believe that it's true, that's not going to simply make you wealthy. And so I did some digging on this particular coach's $3,000 course that's going to teach you how to vibrate at the frequency of money. And on the sales page, it states phase 4 transformation. By the end of phase 4, you will finally have the tools to know what keeps you magnetic to your desires flooding in. You essentially have full ownership to the magic wand of your business cash flow success. And this brought back some memories for me. If you're new here, in 2018, I spent $4,500 on a coach that told me the way I was going to be successful in business was to write in my journal as if I already had a successful business, and that if I believed it hard enough, the success would come. And the part about that and this example in this video and the previous creators we've looked at today is that nobody is addressing the how. And listen, I get it. The manifestation gurus themselves will tell you,
You don't need to worry about the how. If you trust that it's gonna happen, it will happen.
and to me, that's an indication that this coaching and these courses, they aren't actually selling you anything tangible. They are selling you a belief. This kind of language of you have a magic wand or you just need to trust sounds really good when you are desperate to change your life. I mean, who doesn't want to be a millionaire simply by holding the belief that you are capable of being a millionaire? Hello? Sign me up. And listen, there's nothing wrong with holding a belief or being optimistic or believing that you are capable of achieving something. I think that's great, and I think you absolutely should do that. But when someone is charging you $3,000 to convince you that you have a problem when it doesn't work, that is manipulation. Because how many times have we heard the story of someone who bought the course, did all the work, still didn't get results, and then the coach came along and said,
Well, you just didn't try hard enough. You didn't believe hard enough. You weren't committed to the process, etc.
You see, when someone is selling you something as vague as learn how to rewire your mindset, it's much harder to gauge whether or not they actually delivered on the thing that they were going to provide you, because how do you even quantify that? And that's exactly the point. When the promise is intangible and the results are subjective, it becomes nearly impossible to hold these coaches accountable, which honestly makes the perfect business model for them, not you. Watch as many of these feel-good TikToks as you'd like. If they're helpful for you, they help you feel better, they help you improve your mindset. But please, 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 please think twice about what the person on the other end has to gain from getting you to believe that whatever they're saying to you is true. Okay, last one. I quite literally have 10 videos left in my notes app, but this video is getting long. My camera is overheating. And so you can let me know if you want me to film a part 2.
All right, so I've been studying the science behind manifestation for over a decade. And out of everything that I've learned, there is one principle that helped me to manifest well over $1.1 million. And I'm going to share it with you guys today.
Excuse me, ma'am. Question. Where is this science you speak of? Everyone who watches my channel or has watched my channel for any amount of time is probably sick of me asking this question. But if anyone who believes in the science behind manifestation could actually show me where the science is, show me the peer-reviewed studies, the quantifiable research, the actual data, something that shows me the scientific connection between science and manifestation, because calling something science doesn't make it scientific. In fact, using scientific studies, manipulating scientific studies, double slit experiment, I'm looking at you, cherry picking and butchering scientific studies to support your belief does not actually make a theory scientific. I have a theory, and that theory is, if we call something science, or we personally state that we've been studying the science for over a decade, we are trying to add a perceived level of legitimacy to whatever nonsense we're about to spew. Presumably, so we can sell our online course, our one-on-one coaching, or whatever other manifestation miracle we have available for purchase on our website. But let's continue.
Because if you can actually not only understand but embody this and execute this principle in your life, you will manifest so much more than just abundance, success, travel, love, whatever it is that you desire. You have to understand that manifestation is not just closing your eyes and saying, oh, I'd like to be a millionaire, and then poof, the money's in your bank account. That is not what manifesting is. And unfortunately, that's why manifestation sometimes gets a bad reputation. People just think it's this spiritual woo-woo thing, when in reality, it is completely proven by neuroscience.
Oh, quick question. Proven by neuroscience where? This argument is actually really interesting to me because it comes up a lot, particularly in the comments on that original I Don't Believe in Manifestation video. And I think what's happening here, much like we saw in the whole, quantum physics argument, is that people are taking a very real scientific theory and applying it incorrectly to their personal belief system. In this case, they're pointing to neuroscience, presumably referencing what I would now consider at this point to be buzzwords like neuroplasticity, reticular activating system, also known as RAS, or visualization. And again, I'm not disputing those are all very real things, but none of them actually prove manifestation specifically. Visualizing your goals, for example, can help you to stay motivated. Olympic athletes use it. I talked about that in my original video. That in itself is not proof of manifestation. That is how your brain works. If you believe you're capable, you're more likely to act in line with someone who believes that they are capable. Again, reinforcing that belief. I stated that in my original video. That in itself does not prove that manifestation is real. I mean, I could probably make a whole video where we talk about how the principles and study of neuroscience have been manipulated to prove manifestation is real. All that to say, unless someone can show me a peer-reviewed scientific research study that proves that our thoughts can change our reality, I'm going to continue to call this what it is. A misinterpretation of science used to sell you a non-existent solution, okay?
So manifestation is the art of consciously calling something into your life through your beliefs and through your dominant assumptions. And the one principle that I had to actually learn, that had to actually click with me mentally, ended up making me well over 1.1 million in my business because I understood this principle and then I actually lived it. So what I learned was that you don't manifest what you want. You don't manifest what you desire or what you think would be nice to have. You will always manifest into your life a replica of who you believe you are. Who you believe, whatever you believe about yourself, whatever assumptions you have about yourself and what you're worthy and deserving and capable of is what's going to manifest into your life, right? So if you could say all day long, I want to manifest $5 million, but if internally you truly believe at the core, the economy is terrible, manifesting money is hard, money doesn't grow on trees, a wealthy lifestyle is not in the cards for me, my parents were lower class, therefore that's all I'm ever destined for, even though you're saying out loud with your verbal language, oh, I want to be a multimillionaire, you are always going to manifest a replica of those internal beliefs and those dominant assumptions that you hold, right? And again, a lot of us got those from childhood, from the age of infancy up until 7 to 10. Our subconscious is like a sponge. We literally soak up all the information and all of the perceptions about life that our parents and grandparents and caretakers had. So if you realize that you've been holding some very negative internal thoughts and beliefs about money, don't even feel bad. There's no reason to feel any guilt or shame. Those were probably put onto you at that young age. But now you have a chance to be radically honest with yourself and take a step back and assess your core beliefs about money and learn to actually reprogram your subconscious mind with an entire new set of beliefs, an entire new set of assumptions. I can honestly say at this point in my life, I hold no resistance to money. I know that money is just energy. There is more than enough to go around. The universe is insanely abundant, and I'm a powerful manifester, and I can easily manifest money and sales and clients into my business because money is just energy and it's a renewable resource. There's always enough to go around.
Your self-concept does influence your actions, and your actions do shape your outcomes in life. I'm not disputing that, and I highly doubt that anyone watching this video is disputing that. But let's not confuse our beliefs in our abilities with manifestation or our ability to create whatever we want. I've said it once and I will say it again. Statements like this one and videos like this one completely skip over a lot of the inconvenient variables, namely privilege, access, timing, and plain old luck.
So if you guys would like to completely rewrite your internal beliefs around money and manifest more than you ever have, I would be so honored to have you this week in my free masterclass. You can just actually drop the word masterclass down below. I will send it right to your DM. It is a jam-packed educational presentation. It's not just some surface level chit chat. It will teach you a 5-step formula proven by science to rewrite your internal pathways so you start believing that you are worthy and deserving and capable of abundance, and then you go on to manifest the most amount of money that you ever have in the shortest amount of time. I would be honored to have you there. It's 100% free. Just drop the word masterclass down below and I'll see you there.
Once again, there we have it. You sign up for a free masterclass. Those of you that have watched my content know that a masterclass is really just a fancy word for a sales pitch where she can sell you her course or her coaching program. She's going to help you solve all your money problems while conveniently also making a lot of money herself. What did she say? $1.1 million? Wow. Long story short, it is my opinion that all of these manifestation gurus are manifesting their wealth through convincing you that they have the secrets to help you manifest your wealth. That is, of course, only if you pay them hundreds or thousands of dollars to learn how. It's okay to want more for your life. It's okay to work on your self-belief, your confidence, and to try and achieve more with your life. Just please, 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 please do me a favor and don't let these coaches on the internet sell you their false promises wrapped in fake science to make you think that their offer is the solution to your problems. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Let me know in the comments if you would like a part 2. I want to give a big shout out to our channel mastermind VIPs, as well as my rich friends in the billionaire tier. Thank you so much for being here. Hoping I can manifest a subscribe, like, share, comment. And if this money, wealth, mindset manifestation wasn't enough for you, you might want to check out this video right here. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.